drinks. It was just a whole new world of just taste profiles, because you don't realize your taste buds are just so fried basically with all the sugars and salts, and you didn't realize how much you were missing out on food.
That's interesting, and it's a tough thing. It's a very tough thing to do. I will do different little things where I'll go veggie for a little while, and I'm actually doing a week right now where I'm just eating vegetables, and it cracks me up because I don't, until you take and step away from it, you just don't really realize really. Like you said about how salty things taste and those types of things, and the different flavors that you have. I love avocado, and that's one of my favorite things. I got to say, Ace is on here. She's going, chickpea salad is just, apparently she put flames, and I don't know. Is it spicy?
No, it's just.
She just saying she loves it.
It's just delicious.
It's just delicious chickpea salad. Yes. Well, and so because my son, he became a vegetarian at like 15, and I think he was just wanting to do something different, and he still is, and he'll be 30 this year.
Yeah.
And but he does eat fish, and I am really wanting to explore more about my diet when it comes to my arthritis, because arthritis is just really huge. I've already had both hips replaced. I've got all kinds of joint issues. I do the CBD to help me with that, and I'll be talking about that in a minute. But the one thing that I did not realize how horrible it is, and I've been a diet soda drinker my whole life. Aspartame is one of the worst. If you're a person with arthritis, just try it. Just try it. Get off aspartame and see if that does not just completely change the way you feel. Have you had other people say that?
Yeah, and really I say it's an easy change, and there's people listening saying, well, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
But it really is an easy change in multiple ways, because, think about when you go, we've got a family of 5, so when we go out to a restaurant, I think about growing up, I can just remember, what do you want to drink? Coke, 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 Coke. We just all said it all.
Yeah.
But you think about that, if you're paying, let's say, $2 for a drink at a restaurant, if there's 5 of us and we're all getting that, that's $10 right there.
You bet.
But if we all just say, like Melody did it the other day, she just said water, just did this. And
all right.
knew what we meant. But, that's $10 back in the pocket saved.
You bet.
And so that's an easy change, because if you think about the amount of money you're spending at the grocery store when you go out to eat, all of that money saved, that starts to make things easier. And people say, well, a plant-based diet or a vegetarian diet or whatever it is, or a healthy diet is so expensive. It's like, well, not necessarily.
Yeah.
If you're looking at things like that, and if you really just look at your what's going on the cart in your grocery line, is it real? Does it look like food, or does it look like something that's in a box? Because you're in that box, you're paying for the advertisements, for all the people sitting in a room thinking about, okay, how big does this picture on the box need to be to make people want to buy it more? And there's a lot more to it than just, someone grabbing it and walking away and eating it at home. So.
Yeah, and it's just like we've gotten into as a society, everybody wants everything pre-prepped, because working at the benevolent center like I do, we get a lot of stuff in from Second Harvest, and so if we can take like things that have hit their best by date and they'll throw it in the freezer, and then we can buy it for pennies on the dollar and bring it in, and we can use that to distribute into the community, and we also can use that stuff for our Meals on Wheels program. And so I'll get these packaged foods, and I'll see the price tag on it like $10, and there's nothing in there, but it's all prepared, and all you have to do is stick it in the microwave, and I'm like, it's just the waste of money that goes into all these foods that you just throw in the microwave just astounds me, because I see the prices on that. I'm like, who would pay that for that? It just blows my mind. And it's just all frozen, and all the nutrients are cooked out of it. Now they do have some of those things that'll come through, and it's got all the things you need to do to make the meal, and so that's a little bit better. But it's still people have just gotten out of the habit of spending any time with their food, and it's just killing our nutrition, just killing our health. So what would you say, let's just talk about some of the favorite things. What is one of your favorite things that you make? What is one of the favorite things that you have there in the store?
Oh, goodness. That's hard.
It's like picking a favorite child, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What you can't do.
Yeah, I'm with Ace. I really love the chickpea salad. We have our new dab salad. So we have.
What is that again?
You choose 3.
Dab salad.
Dab salad.
Dab salad. So you get a dab of this, a dab of that, and a dab of that. I love it. That's dab salad.
Yes. So, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, we love
That's
it.
a throwback to Springfield Drugs. That's
Yes,
something
they
at
had
that time.
a dab salad. So
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So the chickpea it's garbanzo beans.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't have chicken in it. It's garbanzo beans, but. We have that. We have an Asian slaw that I love. Our broccoli salad. We have fresh fruit. It's a quinoa salad. Mm-hmm. So, and that has black beans and tomatoes in it. And we have, help me, Adam. Oh, a pasta salad. Pasta salad might be my favorite. I love pasta, but it also has, sun-dried tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
I love sun-dried tomatoes.
Me
so, I don't know. If I had to choose just one thing, I'm not sure that I could choose just one thing.
That's funny. A dab salad then.
Yeah, a dab salad. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Adam makes killer omelets, so that's a huge thing. We love eggs at work. We love eggs at home. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't have one single favorite for sure.
Well, okay, so Adam, the question to you: do you have a favorite?
I mean, an omelet is always my go-to. Like when I was, before we got married, or really even in the early days of marriage, when I'm at home by myself, I'm thinking, what can I do that's going to be good and healthy, but I'm also going to feel full on it and for a long time. And omelet's just so easy because you can do so much with it. I mean, you can put salsa on top and have it that kind of taste, or you can saute or whatever you want to put in with it.
So, is there a secret to a perfect omelet that you can share? Or is that
you've
like
gotta
a
flip
guarded
it.
secret?
If you want to learn how to make one, go to the Opryland Hotel and eat at that breakfast place there in the Cascades or wherever it is. And man, those guys are incredible. They're flipping them, but you don't have to be that complex with it.
Yeah.
It's the flipping it over. It gets it.
So, because a true omelet, because when I think about an omelet, and I will take in, like, do my veggies and then add the eggs, but is a true omelet where you cook the eggs and then you fold them in, or is it either way? What is a true omelet?
Yeah, so if you're thinking about like a culinary, which we don't do, like a culinary omelet, a French omelet where it's shaped like a rectangle, that's one that they've folded and then they're actually folding over 3 times to make it into that rectangle shape, but that's with the food in. But yeah, what you're talking about is really good too, where you've got the vegetables and you just kind of crack the eggs over it and it all cooks together and fold. And that's just, I mean, it's just a variation.
Okay, so I'm going to have to come in and watch you make an omelet. Can people see you making them there?
They can, depending on what seat you're sitting in. You can see back into the kitchen, which is really a good thing because it forces us to make sure everything's tidy and neat. And it's a pretty small space that we have back there. Yeah. But we've had people mention that they like being able to see what's going into their food. They're seeing, it come out, how it's prepared, and so we like that aspect of it.
How many people can you seat right there at the fountain?
So at the counter, there's 5 stools, swivel stools. Mm-hmm. Then we have 4 seats, bar stools that are looking out to the over the railroad tracks out the window. And then we have a small booth that was reupholstered. It was an original booth. We reupholstered to match the stools, and you can seat 4 there. So.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that I would think that most of your business is kind of grab and go, though, isn't it?
There's
is it
a lot
more
of
like
that
where they go back to the office, they grab it, take it home, those types of things?
It is, especially in today's world, and we also are on premium food delivery, so
good.
you can order in, and the premium people will come and grab it and deliver it to you. So we do a lot of that also.
Do you say if I knew I wanted something, can I call and put an order in?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I can call and put an order and say, hey, I'm going to be by there in 10 minutes. I want to pick this up.
Yep, just call the drugstore.
And it'd be ready to go, and they just put it over there to you. Okay. Yep. Well, let me go ahead and take my next break, but I want to talk more about, again, just some of the things that maybe the kids like, and some of the things you can recommend for people to help feeding their kids at home, maybe packing lunch boxes, those types of things. Tips that you can have as young parents and a young family, because, I mean, that's got to be, what do you put in that lunch box that those kiddos are going to eat and that you know are nutritious, some of those types of ideas. And two, I want to get back to the arthritis thing, some arthritis recommendations, because it sounds like that's something you've schooled yourself on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, we're going to stop for just a minute. Let's talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse, Gibson Nursery and Gardening Center. I was out there on Sunday. Have so much fun talking to Amy. I just love her. She is just somebody that I can just connect to, because she loves being outdoors. That's where I thrive, honestly. The time I get to spend hanging outside is just some of my favorite times. And as I was last night, I even called her. I said, "Hey, do you have any lavender?" Because I was looking at some of my lavender that's coming back, and some of it I don't think is going to make it, that I'm going to have to replace, because we got really cold there, over the winter. And sometimes things that you think are going to come back maybe won't. But I definitely want to put in some more lavender. And she says, give it a couple of more weeks before you come and get this. And so, I love being able to call her and ask her those kinds of questions. But I went and picked up some succulents the other day. I'm putting together a pretty flower pot for my son, just to he's finishing up his degree, and he's just like in the books all the time, and he just needs a little bit of life sitting there with him. And so I'm putting something together for him. The beautiful flowering baskets they have out there, and the thing, when I went out there on Sunday, they were covering, because it dipped down low enough that I had frost on my windshield when I got up Monday morning. Amy said they're down in a hollow like I am, and you're going to frost, especially if you're in some of those low areas. But you realize we've got 2 days this week that the low is going to be in the 20s is what they're forecasting. If you've got some of those tender plants and you've got a little bit anxious about putting them outside, you got to cover them, or you will lose them, and you'll be going back to Corbin Creek to replace them. But just keep in mind that you just need to watch those things right now. They're watching them out at Corbin. And I also had a chance to meet Bill while I was out there. Have never met Bill until Sunday, and I thanked him for being one of our hemp growers here that's bringing CBD to the market. That is something that has really helped me with my arthritis. I was stunned. I thought it was snake oil. I didn't believe in it. My doctor's the one who recommended it. The doctor who did my hip replacements, Dr. Hodrick up at Southern Joint Replacement, said, you need to really check into CBD if you don't want to take medicine. And 2 days later, I found out that they do CBD, Robertson County CBD. It's grown here. Bill grows it. They process it up in the Jolton area. That's what you get right here. And so if you're going to check into this, you want to know what you're getting, and the best way to do that is to know who your growers are, who's processing it, and know as much about it as possible. And you can with Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts Nursery and Gardening Center. They're open Monday through Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday open 1 to 5. And I talked to Amy this last night. They are open Easter Sunday. They're going to be open Good Friday, so they're there all weekend if you want to come by and talk to them. The number to call is 615-384-3185. 615-384-3185. They're at 4920 Highway 161, Corbin Creek. Tell them that U-Turn sent you. And back into the show here. All right, well, let's start with the kiddo stuff. What would you do? Because I think that's something that I think is we're trying to get our kids ready and go to school and all those kinds of things. What are the fails that you have found that you put in there that the kids won't touch, and what are the successes? What would you say?
Oh boy, fails.
Do you have anything that you're like, okay, they're just not going to eat that?
Well, the thing is, our kids, they'll eat something one day, and you think, oh, they love this so much. So you start putting it in their lunchbox, and then you realize their lunchbox comes back pretty much with all the food left in it. And you're like, you just ate this the day before, and you loved it so much. But, it's like, I guess we all have a hankering for what we like and don't like some days, and other days we like something else. So a lot of times we'll do, I've done like turkey. So at home, we don't, Adam is vegetarian. The kids and I don't always eat vegetarian. Mm-hmm. For lunch especially. Lunch is so much harder, I've noticed, especially if you're trying to pack a healthy lunch to send to school. It's so yeah, we do a lot of fresh fruit. Our kids love strawberries. Mm-hmm. So a lot of fresh fruit. We do cheese sticks. Mm-hmm. We do, like I said, turkey. A lot of it, they, like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches we do, or peanut butter and honey sandwiches I do a lot. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just trying to put, like, the protein and the fruit. As far as vegetables go, that can be a little harder, if you put, carrot slices or some broccoli or things like that. Our kids are more of they like it cooked better than they do just eating it raw. Yeah. So yeah, that's a lot of texture things too. So I don't know. Lunch is a lot harder than just saying, here we're going to have a healthy breakfast. I've been known to put breakfast in their lunchbox before, having some eggs and some strawberries and, things like that. So but as far as the lunch counter goes, a lot of the kids love our Power Balls.
What is a Powerball?
So a Powerball it's peanut butter, oats, chocolate chips, honey, flaxseed. You just mix all that together and you make it into a ball, and obviously it's sweet, but it's also got the power or the protein,
fiber.
Fiber. So a lot of the kids love that. Our milkshakes, the kids love the milkshakes. They are dairy free. How
do you do a dairy-free milkshake? That's
It's possible. You gotta come try it.
It is, and it's delicious.
Okay.
So we use a soy milk.
Okay.
Some people who have said they wanted to stay away from soy, we do have almond milk or coconut milk, and then. Let's see, we use dates to sweeten it.
Okay.
So the dates are awesome. For our chocolate base, we use fresh cocoa.
Okay.
And then we also have a soy vanilla ice cream that we put in some of them. Our most popular is the chocolate peanut butter banana milkshake. And that's exactly what it is. It's the chocolate base, a fresh banana, a couple scoops of peanut butter, all blended up in delicious goodness.
Oh, it does sound delicious. Oh my goodness. And so when you think about a milkshake, I think about cold and thick. So are these milkshakes more liquid than they are thick and ice creamy, or are they ice creamy?
We make them as thick, or some people say I want mine really thick, or some people say I don't want mine as cold. So we can do it.
The one she's talking about is really thick.
It's very
smooth.
thick.
There's others that are a lot icier.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still the flavor there. So
no,
it's not like a liquid.
Yeah, because when I think about a milkshake, I want a thick, cold, ice creamy kind of milkshake. What I want. That's what I like.
Yes.
So you do those too.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And, so the ones that are going to be more liquidy and I guess not as thick would be our smoothies.
Gotcha.
So our smoothies are fresh fruit smoothies. Our most popular, I would say, would be our sweet green and ginger one.
Green and ginger. What in the world is in something like that?
I'll let you kind of talk about.
So what's a sweet green and ginger smoothie?
So the green smoothie has spinach, pineapple. We put hemp seed and chia seed in it. So a chia seed is a really good source of fiber. So you talk about flax seeds, hemp seed, chia seed. All of these things are things that people have been eating for thousands of years, not just hundreds of years, but I mean, it's been around for, you can read things from the Middle Ages and they're talking about eating flax. So that's a good sign already with that. But those are things that provide natural proteins and fibers, so you're not having to add a powder, supplement, or something to it. Not that those don't have their place for some people in their diets, but these are things that it's real food going into it, and you can look and see everything that goes into it. So that one, it does have ginger in it and pineapple. So that's what gives it the sweeter. And that's a really balanced and smooth one. We also have another one that's a chirpleberry that has an elderberry extract that goes into it from a place called Darby Farms. And they sell that up at the drugstore. And especially in a time like now, especially with flu season, whenever that comes around, people are raving about elderberry, and that's
What are the claims? What are the benefits of elderberry? I've heard, but can you remind us what elderberry is supposed to be beneficial for? Is it just immune system?
Yes, immune health, and really the thing with, and this is kind of where you can smooth into what you're talking about with arthritis. Berries are a great source of anti-inflammation. And that's the problem with so much of our diet is there are so many inflammatory foods. And if you think about when I was talking about earlier about issues that you may be having with your health, and it can be helpful to sit down and say, how do I really feel before you go into a diet? But the problem for a lot of people is you don't really know how bad you feel because you're so used to feeling that way.
Yeah.
And that's where inflammation is one of these huge factors. And we just don't eat enough foods that are anti-inflammatory, that knock away at that. And that's what is going to, obviously people talk about weight so much, and that's going to help bring weight down. That's going to help so many other things going on in your body, because there's so many different factors regarding your health or weight, or things like arthritis, or things like brain function or immunity. All of these things are working together. And even, she was talking to a dermatologist a while back. I talked about gut health. And she was talking about the role of skin conditions or breakouts or acne or any of those things, and how they're tied to the health of your liver, the health of your gut. And you can just really go into a wormhole of information of reading about the things that are tied to your gut health. And we don't have healthy guts in America because of the things that we're putting into it. And if you think about if I can reference her dad a little bit, who works on septic systems, if you think about a septic tank, if you're pouring Drano into it, we think that's a good thing because it's going to kill all of what's in there. But really what it's doing is it's killing the what am I trying to say?
The good bacteria.
Yes, the good bacteria that's in there that
works.
Supposed to be there. It's the same thing with your body. You're wanting to feed things that or send things in there that are going to feed the good bacteria in your body. So things like she mentioned cocoa powder is something that has prebiotic fiber in there, and prebiotics are things that feed the probiotics in your body. We think about, I need to eat yogurt if I've had a stomach virus to replenish with the good bacteria, and that's true. But things like the prebiotics, like asparagus or bananas or apples, artichoke, things like that, chicory root, are things that coffee even.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you're not putting cream and sugar in it, that's where people get lost.
Mess it up.
Right. But coffee, I'm not a coffee drinker myself, and I know a lot of people are, and there's some research to back up drinking coffee as part of a healthy diet if you're not just going overboard with it, because there are some definite benefits to it in that realm and in other ways also.
Very cool. This is so interesting. I do have to, Trent Cobb had to say, Mel, talk to us about eating a spoonful of lard. I don't even know.
Oh, Trent.
So lean into the microphone. What's he talking about? Because I got to bring this up, because if you get one of our comments, like, what are they talking about?
Well, if you had to bring it up. So obviously my grandmother, she was huge into cooking huge meals, It was, she would feed our family all the time and many more. But my brother came outside one day, and we were all at grandmother's, and he had this bucket, and he said, "Hey, this is grandmother's new mashed potato recipe. She's done some cool things with it, and it's her best one yet, and you have to try it." So, I'm like, okay, great. And he takes a big old spoonful and hands it to me, and I put it in my mouth. And of course, immediately I'm just gagging and choking and hitting him because I'm so angry. And I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it's awful. What is this stuff? I know she didn't make this. And he said, yeah, it was her lard bucket, that she has. And I just was completely, disgusted and mortified. And,
that's hysterical.
He was the only one that thought it was funny. So,
that's great. I love small towns because we get those little sidebars. We get these little notes. Thank you, Trent, for that. I tell you what, let's pause for a minute, and we're going to come back and continue talking with Melody and Adam Callis. And this is just such an interesting conversation. And we've been talking about the effects of food on our body. And I want you to if there's something, because every now and then you'll see those ads pop up. Don't eat this if you have this. Okay, if there are some things that you would say, just really try to avoid. If you know some certain things that you just need to avoid if you have this. If you can kind of go back and kind of talk to me about that a little bit. And so be thinking about that. But we do need to do our last ad here for Riceman Buick GMC, one of the largest GMC Buick inventories in Tennessee. Are you a brand new person, or are you a pre-owned person, or are you a certified pre-owned person? Well, they can help you out. They have got a little bit of all of that stuff. You never know what's going to be coming off the new truck. Go out and drive through the parking lot. You got something in your mind from Buick or GMC. Do you really, really want one of those Sierras that's got that multi-pro tailgate, that 6-function multi-pro tailgate that's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of tailgates. I just love that truck. That is absolutely gorgeous. Is that what you got your eye on? Or maybe you're wanting to watch for the pre-owned lot, and there's something that you had in mind that you want that's got all the bells and whistles that you want, but you want to save some money. Well, they have certified pre-owned that goes through those multi-point inspections to make sure that you're getting exactly what you need to have in your driveway. And then they've got just great pre-owned selections as well coming in all the time. Sometimes vehicles will come in with such low miles that they'll still have factory warranty left on them. It's a great dealership. Todd can't say enough though about if you've really got your eye on something on the new lot that you really specifically want, he said, come on in and order it. More people are doing that. That way, when it comes off the truck, it's yours. There's no having to chase down the right color, the right interior, the right sunroof, the right whatever it is that you're looking for. Go and order it, and when it gets there, it is all yours. And when it comes to the way to purchase, they've got leasing options, they've got financing options that will fit every single need. You think, we were talking the other day, if you think you're somebody that can't get qualified to buy, go in and talk to them. You'll probably be surprised. They can work it out for you. They love working with somebody who thinks it's not possible for them because they love to give you a big surprise. You can go to RicelandBuickGMC.com and start the process. Go look through some of their inventory online, but keep it in mind. It takes a minute to get those things online, so you may be missing something if you're not going by the dealership, if you're just looking online, because it takes a little bit to get those pictures, to get those videos, and put those up. But you can start the process online at RicelandBuickGMC.com. You can even fill out your application online. So that way when you get there, you can say, hey, I've already kind of filled this out. And they probably already have an idea of what you're geared to and what direction you're going in. And that kind of gives them an opportunity to just be ready for you, so you don't have to spend quite as much time on the lot. And when it comes to service, they have a service department that's open every single day they're open. They have hours even on Saturday, open till noon on Saturday. A service department that can do brakes, oil change, batteries, tire rotations, you name it. They can take care of it, and they have high quality, genuine GM parts. Riceland Buick GMC, they are your whole package, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. Saturday, they're open from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And again, service hours also on Saturday until noon. Get by there today. Tell them U-Turn sent you. And my friends Melody and Adam Callis are here, and they are talking to us about the healthy, and I'm trying to think, did I say your last name? I was teasing you. Penny forever let me say her last name wrong, and it's so funny. We were talking about that and joking around, and as I said it, I'm like, okay, did I say it right? But anyway, Penny, Adam and Melanie Callis are here with us, and they're the proprietors of the Fountain Counter at Southside Drugs, and we were talking about the healthy lifestyles. They got 3 beautiful little kids, and they just are a fun, sweet family. And I love getting tips on just how to eat better and to live better. And somebody that's raising kids, you're more mindful of it. Because when you're doing it just to yourself, you're like, yeah, whatever. But when you're responsible for these little lives here, it makes you just take another look at it and to take it more seriously and just what's the best for them. So when it comes to foods that you would say you need to avoid, are there some foods that you say just to avoid?
There are. I'll just give you a diagram that the documentary that we mentioned earlier, Forks Over Knives, talks about. If you look at your stomach, and 500 grams, say, of fruits and vegetables will fill your stomach up, and you say, I'm full, don't want to eat anymore. 500 grams, the same amount of meat, will fill you to about a little less than half full, whereas the same amount, 500 grams of oil or fat, you're not even a tenth full of your stomach. So what that means is when you're eating, if you go to the restaurant and you're looking at what you're eating, if it's all fruits and vegetables, when you eat a certain amount of calories, you're going to feel full and stop. Whereas if you're eating all meat or all oils and fats, you're going to eat that same amount of calories, but your stomach's not going to feel full yet, so you're going to want to keep eating, and that's why we end up overeating. And the obesity rates in Tennessee is around 32.8% of people in Tennessee. That was as of 2021. Went down from 2019, but still pretty high. Childhood obesity in Tennessee was number 4 in the nation. Kentucky's number 1. So I mean, these are real things.
Kentucky's number 1, really
affecting us. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, just in the coronavirus terms, and this is something that doesn't hit any kind of political spectrum because there's both ends. And in fact, I pulled one from CNN and one from New York Post to prove that this is all across the board, that COVID deaths are 10 times higher in countries that are predominantly overweight or obese.
Really? Okay.
And in fact, 78%, this is CDC reporting, that 78% of those hospitalized for COVID-19 were obese or overweight. And so we think about all these other factors that are causing this country's reaction to it, but we don't think about the way we're eating and the way that we're really already setting our bodies up for failure to address something like that, but not just a virus. I mean, the things that you're talking about, the things that just come up along the way. It's basically like having robbers come to your house and saying, "Hang on, let me bust the windows and knock the doors down before you to come in." We're doing that to our body.
Right.
And so when you think about specific foods, the things that I try to tell people when I'm talking in conversation is look at it and I mean, think for a moment, does it look like food? And I think that's an easy way to go about it. I remember sitting at a place and looking at my plate, and this is years ago, and everything was brown. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, this can't be good. But because there's so much color in the world, and if you walk through a garden, there's so much color there. And yet, everything that we're eating is not looking that way. So the things that I would advise are try to add a fruit or a vegetable to every meal. I mean, that's an easy thing. And really, dieting shouldn't be hard or frustrating. There's so many diet plans out there that just cause so much anxiety on people. Anxiety has an effect on health and weight gain and all of these things too. So don't pursue a diet that's going to make you feel lousy or feel terrible.
Right.
Because I believe God made it. If He didn't want us to enjoy food, we wouldn't have taste buds. We wouldn't have these cravings that we have.
Yep.
And yet He's given us this, and He's given us all these things to eat. So we should enjoy what we're eating. And if you're not enjoying your life because of your health symptoms, if you're not enjoying what you're eating, something's wrong in that arrangement. So just I work on training your body to crave foods that are good for you, because then it's almost like you're tricking your brain into giving in to that craving, but in the end it's a good craving. It's something that is actually going to help you. So like for me, it's an apple. I eat an apple every day because after getting rid of soft drinks and getting rid of all these sugary things, an apple tastes so sweet to me. And so I think, okay, that's the thing I can splurge on, but then I realize it's not really a splurge because it's got so many good things for you. So that's what I would look at is yeah, you can sit and say, well, this is all bad or this is all good, but it's really more complicated than that. So the things that tend to be really bad for us are things with tons of sugar. I mean, sugar is the main thing, and you're going to hear people talk about, well, bananas have lots of sugar in them too, so do I need to stop eating those too? And it's like, well, maybe if you're getting to a healthy diet, don't eat 10 bananas a day.
You don't want to live on bananas.
Yeah.
Right.
Have a balance.
But at the same time, there's a difference in something like a banana, which has sugar in it, or glucose, but there's also natural fibers in that banana that are going to help your body process those sugars or like a sweet potato. It's something that has sugars in it, but because of the fiber content in it, your body is going to slow down the way that it processes that versus something like a soft drink where, I mean, when I was working with Panera Bread years ago, they did a study basically showing that for every glass of Coke you drank, you just drank a cinnamon roll, the sweetness of a cinnamon roll. So
I'd
you
rather
think
have the
about
cinnamon roll.
Right.
yeah, exactly. That's what they said. Exactly. Which would you rather have?
Yeah.
And yet it's just, I mean, you're funneling it down. If you go to the restaurant and you drink one or two before your food even comes there, and it's
Oh
like,
yeah,
bam,
look what you've done to yourself.
Right,
And
you've
you
had
know,
dessert first.
We're completely out of time. I see. I knew whenever I was talking to Lee Marie, I said I can do an hour with them. I know I
Yeah.
can. But and so just any parting thoughts, and also tell them again how they can come and participate at the fountain. Any parting thoughts?
So what about the red
So
wine?
go ahead.
Yeah, the events.
Yeah, so coming up, we will be at the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast. We're going to be...
Oh, good.
Yes,
Good.
we're going to have some samples of our smoothies, but also we're just going to go and support Kiwanis. Yay.
Yes, okay.
That's on May 1st. We are also hoping to be at Red River Farms. They're going to have their event this summer, July 16th and 17th. We're hoping to have a booth there. Hopefully this summer we'll also be at some farmers markets. So yes, and also in June we're going to have a milkshake day. So yes, be aware of that. But yeah, we are there Monday through Friday at the fountain from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. So come and see us. We'll whip you up something. And if you're ever not sure about it, please just tell us, and we will be happy to give you a sample. So yeah, we want, it's about getting the word out, getting people to really enjoy this food. It's really good food. So don't knock it till you try it, type thing.
No, it sounds wonderful.
So yeah.
And I've got to get by there. I got to come get me a dab salad. That just sounds like right down my alley. Perfect. And I'm anxious because I'm doing the vegetarian thing this week. I'm kind of anxious to see how that's going to affect my arthritis.
Yeah.
And so I'll let you know. Any parting thoughts, Adam, before we go?
None.
You good? Thank you guys for joining us so much. This has been a lot of fun. And we'll have to visit with them again. Maybe as we approach the holidays next year, we'll revisit with you guys and just get some good advice on preparing for, going into the trilogy of bad health with Halloween and our Thanksgiving feast and Christmas. I mean, it really is. We start a trilogy that just destroys us. All of us diet before that so we can, eat terrible. Yeah. So I think maybe that'd be a good time to have you guys back in to give us some advice going into that. So sound good?
Yeah.
All right, we'll make it a date. But anyway, this is One Street Over here at 1100 WSGI. Thank you for joining us. And we're in Passover week. We're going to kind of talk into Joe Rushing tomorrow and kind of get a better understanding of how all of the religious stuff that we do here at Easter, where did that come from? Why do we do what we do? And just really be intentional talking about the Passover, the death, burial, and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ right here on 1100 WSGI. Thank you for joining us. Have a fabulous day. God bless.